Hello, and thank you for watching our training video. In this video, we'll be walking you through troubleshooting Microsoft Outlook issues utilizing CloudReady Synthetics and ServiceWatch. Every company's lifeblood is running off of Exchange. Whether it be Office 365 Exchange services or the end user's Outlook client, issues with email are very impactful. There can be a huge cost to the organization associated with these problems from both the end user's perspective and engineers troubleshooting the issue. Microsoft does provide a troubleshooting tool for Outlook itself with their Support and Recovery Assistant tool, but this tool needs to be downloaded to the end user's machine and ran from there, but only attempts to resolve Outlook client issues, not the device, network, or Office 365 services, which slows down troubleshooting. There is also a lack of proactive monitoring, meaning when an issue does happen, you're in the dark receiving user complaints or not knowing at all until Microsoft acknowledges the issue and lets everyone know. Our CloudReady Synthetics will test a wide variety of Exchange-based services with sensors for ActiveSync, FreeBusy, OA, Exchange Online, and the email graph. The email-based sensors will continuously test inbound and outbound mail, catch slowdowns, errors, and outages. When implementing changes to an environment, the sensor will allow you to benchmark the environment pre- and post-changes. Now let's say some end users began reporting issues with receiving emails. We'll start off in our overview dashboard. From here, we can see the email sensors. They're currently all green, so no issues have been detected. Once we pull up one of the sensors, we can take a look at the alarms to see what has been detected, if any alarms had triggered. The Errors tab is also worth looking at to make sure the sensor is running optimally and not continuously running into errors. Let's take a deeper look into the metrics being collected by the sensor, starting with the Logon tab at the top. From here, you can identify if there are any slowdowns occurring during the login portion of the sensor's run. If the sensor is configured to run with multi-factor authentication, these metrics would reflect issues affecting MFA speeds along with the login itself. As is the case with all of our sensors, make sure you compare the values to the crowd to tell if you are the only one being affected or if other Enterprise users are seeing the same issue. You can also add additional details by selecting More and checking the Advanced button. These additional metrics are related to the connection being made from the sensor to the email servers. High connect times are indicative of latency issues, whereas high time to first byte points to server slowdowns. You'll also notice the proxy connect time here. If a proxy is causing the mail to slow down, you'll know right away. The Message Transfer tab will provide you with visibility into the message transfer agent itself and will represent the amount of time it takes to send and receive the emails. Making our way to the Network tab, we'll be able to see if there are issues with the Exchange server itself. If you're seeing any of the metrics spike, you can look through the data point detail to compare all of the metrics to the crowd for the selected segment, and in the network path performance, you can see if there are any slowdowns and where they are occurring from the device running the sensor all the way to the Microsoft infrastructure. Since our sensors didn't detect any issues, we'll want to move on to the end user's device. You can quickly pull up that user's machine by clicking on the magnifying glass and typing in their username or device name. Once you pull up the device, set your time range to include when the user was experiencing the issue. Check the events and app crashes to see if the Outlook client is experiencing recurring problems. If you see nothing there, check the device experience scores and resource scores. Make sure there are no issues with the machine running out of resources or connectivity issues. You should also check the network latency and utilization graphs for connectivity problems. You can get more information on each one of the metrics by scrolling down. Under the core apps, you'll find Outlook and be able to see what resources are being used by the executable by clicking into it. This will help you identify if the issue is related to the Outlook client itself performing poorly. Now, what if the machine's resources were okay, the Outlook client itself wasn't crashing or having problems? We'd move on to the connectivity next. The Connected Networking tab will provide you with the TCP/IP traffic routing from the device to the Exchange server hosted in Microsoft's infrastructure. By selecting a segment from the latency graph, you'll populate the path trace showing you where slowdowns are happening and how badly it affects the communication. This can point to DNS not being configured properly and other issues across the internet. The App Network dashboard will automatically be created upon deploying ServiceWatch Desktop. This is a very useful resource for multiple reasons. First, the dashboard will provide you with visibility into the network and ISP, TCP/IP, and UDP performance to quickly tell if either are part of the issues being experienced. Second, it'll automatically group devices together, or you can create your own groupings as well as utilize integration-based groupings via Active Directory and other methods. This is great for benchmarking devices and networks and allows you to see the before and after of the changes you implement. A third reason this dashboard is great to use is because of the application groupings. At the bottom of the App Network dashboard, you'll see the TCP and UDP round-trip times, jitter, and packet loss of the core applications. This allows you to quickly tell if only one user is being affected or a specific group of users is being affected. By combining the proactive notifications from our CloudReady synthetics, you'll know as soon as the issues start occurring that are affecting your end users and be able to take action prior to ticket spikes. When an end user does report an issue, you'll have all of the information required for troubleshooting to quickly get their Outlook issues resolved, and they'll be able to get back to work quicker. On top of that, you'll be able to track the impact of changes across your environment when they're made, so if changes that end up causing the end user's experience to drop or break email entirely, you'll know right away. That's a wrap for our video. Thanks for watching.